Before we start into the second day of this year's 89 Plus Marathon at the Serpentine Galleries, I would like to take a short moment to look where where our journey has taken us last night and also over the last months in preparation. When Hans-Ulrich and Simon Castells introduced 89 Plus, they introduced it to all of us as a network, as a mapping exercise, as a proposal, as a possibility, but foremost as a discussion. And in this sense, the 89 Plus Marathon takes another perspective than other earlier, more thematic frameworks for other marathons. When Simon and Hans-Ulrich introduced the subject or the project to Julia Peyton-Jones and myself, then to Lucia Petrusti, Public Programs Curator at the Serpentine Galleries, and to Ben Vickers, Curator of Digital, and other members of the curatorial team, we started to discuss among ourselves, with friends, colleagues, practitioners from all fields, and actually many, many advisors that Hans-Ulrich has mentioned. They're uncountable almost. The preparations have soon shown that actually the whole idea about the marathon and the 89 Plus Marathon structured itself around a set of questions. There are many, but I will only read out a few. Can the potential of emerging technologies lead to a truly global dialogue that is not homogeneous but acknowledges and fosters difference? What options are available to the generations born after the Cold War, growing through the crisis of financial capitalism? How can we understand new and networked forms of collectivity as examples of new social, economic, political, and aesthetic forms? What are the new forms of activism and protest? Has access to the internet changed political action? What is the relationship between individual leadership and the group in the age of non-hierarchical horizontal practice? And crucially, who is responsible for the future? In a world of constantly growing pragmatism, it's one of the privileges we celebrate with art, and art represents it, is other values, how art values question the uncertain, the unknown, or rather naivety, as Carsten Höller suggested yesterday, almost as a form of resistance. It has been beautiful to see how last night's presentations have already, each in their own right, contributed to this long list of questions. I will quickly repeat. Carsten Höller, through the work of Valia Fetisov about control and self-control. Kevin McGarry by pointing to the sense or nonsense of notion, or rather concept of a generation. Hito Style about what really happened between 1889 and 2014. Max Hawkins about use, applicability, and meaning. Warsan Shire about identity and love. Halil Altindre about territory and history. And Corliss, and then great grand finale, through a wonderful voyage of sounds. We are very thankful for all of them who already so far expanded our discussion and our understanding. One of the outsets in the preparation of this marathon was to take the 89 Plus project into educational institutions in London. Helene Kazan initially introduced the call to the project to different art and design and architecture schools. This was met with much interest. But then Helene decided to take the 89 project forward, not only as a way of engaging with practitioners, but also as a way of engaging in a debate about the topics just raised. This ended up becoming a set of documented classroom debates about around these questions. These debates will eventually go onto the 89 Plus Clubhouse website, which Ben Vickers will introduce a little bit later today, as a voice and feedback on 89 Plus as an initiative. This exchange was initiated by the project, but hopefully will go beyond today or the next weeks. Many of the people who were actually visited or participated in these classroom discussions are here and helping on the marathon in one way or the other, and we are very thankful. For those who haven't seen it yet, we have set up a kiosk at the back of the audience, giving a platform for different modes of self-publishing projects. These publications are laid out here to be read, both in our contact with London educational institutions and alternative education projects, but also in the overall research. It has shown that self-publishing is more than ever important form of communication, of knowledge distribution and political expression. We can encourage you all to have a look. I also want to draw attention to 89 Clubhouse, which amongst many features, as I said, which Ben Vickers will introduce, includes digital participations by Sara Abu Abdallah, Abdullah Al-Mutairi, Darja Bajagic, Emilio Bianchic, Max Hawkins, Brian Keck, Adriana Ramic, Takeshi Shiomitsu, Jasper Spicero, as well as poetry by David Meza Ramirez, Arturo Sanchez, Jakob Steinberg, Nana Yu Lang, Kevin Castro, Agostino Ciccioni, and others. Now I would like to invite Hans-Ulrich to introduce our first guest.